Hi all, welcome back to more of the other side of the hill solo. This will be my part 23, I think. 21, 22, yeah, 23. Just released part 20, so I haven't watched back 21 or 22. But same day as I recorded 22, so yeah, we did a bit of moving about, didn't we? Again. Yeah, so where are we? We're still 1941, just finishing up 1941 in the fall, operations phase of the fall. So just about done with it, really. Just got to get this Western Offensive out the way. That's where we're at, Western Offensive. Try and follow these sequence of play cards, Grant. So to keep you in line, please. Right, so no landing marker. Right, we're going to experience that next year. The first landing marker is going to be there, so then this is going to be checked. Now, I don't know how. My guess is, now again, I'm not quite up on the history of it all, but I want to say maybe the landings are going to be down southern Italy. Well, none of these need landing, do they? Because they've got all these. But it could be southern Italy, Greece, Turkey maybe. Rather than in the... Well, I don't know about Spain, because that wasn't taken, so I don't know. But I mean, I know the cards, they have a priority on which places they'll land first. My guess is it'll be down here first, and then up there, but as things move on. But we'll see. Again, it could be the luck of the cards that you draw and whatever. So, no landings. Right. Western Offensive. Right, there's no Western Offensive markers. So I think we've only got 3 this time. We've got Spain. Right, there's no disputed areas. As Libya's now fallen. So Spain and Turkey and the Middle East. And these are all adjacent to Western controlled. That's right. And them having Libya now doesn't open anything else up there. So yeah, I was just wondering, you got to watch. I mean, that's only, I think I commented that there's not many. I want to say there's 3. There's one here, the +1. There's one there, so we need to remember when they eventually get northern France, or maybe they get Italy and come in to northern France, and there's a +1 there. And I want to say there's one on the Soviet side here. I think that's only 3, but I mean they are there. Okay, so there's the 3. Now our Western Air Naval is at 3. We got a bump up for the strategic warfare, and we also adjusted that to bump it up again, just to make sure we stay out of that 1 box. The Southern is in 3 as well, but there's 2 combats here, so this could move to the 1 box for the second combat, couldn't it? Well, yeah, it could. Because if you take a hit, if there's aircraft to roll, and then you take a hit on the aircraft. So, apart from that though, I don't suppose it matters which ones you do. Well, which one I suppose I'm probably more wanting Turkey to survive, I think. Yeah, so let's do Turkey first then. And yeah, so let's do Turkey first. So draw a combat card first. Still in 1941. Western faction attacking. Yeah, 2 aircraft and a 3. Again, quite a lot of them. Okay, so there is going to be a combat. 2 aircraft and a 3. And remember, the fact that it's 2 aircraft doesn't mean that that'll knock that down twice, but could knock it down once here, and then in the actual combat knock it down again. So it is possible. Right. General wise, well, we've got a Roby Sud. We do have Kesselring. Rather unfortunate dice roll again. So And well, we're Turkey. Yeah, we're Turkey. You're defending in rough, so that's good. So you do benefit from him. And remember, the fact that he's a dissident doesn't mean anything. Just means that if we roll again and if he's questioned again and we roll a 6 again, he's gone. So anyway, Kesselring's still involved here. Now who else have we got? We've got von Reichenau. Von Reichenau. So Kesselring helps because we're defending rough. He does nothing because we're it's just attacking. And then we need a leading general. We're down to the 60s. There's only 1 6 left, so it's either a 6 or a 5. There's quite a few 5s though. So, and the fact that this is going to be the last before the end of the year, we should just try and benefit from whatever, you know. So let me try and find somebody that works. Right, okay, so I've got 2 or 3 options here. This guy defending in rough, add 1 white die, that's his combat roll. This guy defending in any, cancel any. Now, cancel any special effect in the combat card. So, my take on that is you could cancel 1 of the aircraft results, but not 2 of them. I think. I mean, that is a special effect, but the fact that there's 2 of them, my guess is he would only be able to cancel 1. I don't know where that would be written or not. I mean, come on, Grant, you should. These special effects may be the aircraft, yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to take that as common sense that he would be able to cancel 1 of the aircraft results, but we're still going to be rolling 1. So maybe that's not so great. And then this guy, but I figure this guy might be better in the Middle East, because it says a controlling player may change any 1 result in a grey die for a tank result, and the combat in the Middle East is going to be in planes, and we're rolling 2 grey die, so he looks really good for that, so probably going to keep him for that. And then, however, the other one I looked at, not relevant to this, but I think he's good for this as well, is defending in planes, which is what that's going to be. The controlling player may change 1 grey hit result for a tank. That's not quite as good though, is it? The other guy's better, because that's just change any grey die result for a tank, a grey tank. So he's much better. So yeah, probably going to keep them for that, or keep him for that, I think. And then between these 2, I suppose this guy's better, isn't he? We're getting to roll an extra die with us. This is going to cancel 1 of the aircraft. I mean, thing is, if I roll the other aircraft and it comes up an aircraft, we still get that, take that hit. So yeah, I'm going to go with von Wietinghoff. So combat against the Western faction, defending in rough, add 1 white die to that as combat roll. So it's going to be pretty decent actually. And then I'm going to keep that Hans Reinhardt for the next combat, I think. Yes. Okay. So that's my generals for the battle. So back to here. So 2 special effects are the 2 aircraft. So we're going to roll 2 dice, and if they get an aircraft, it's going to take a hit on our air naval control. Oh, and they miss. Good. Well, I'm glad I didn't use that special effect then. So no aircraft there, so no reduction in my air naval control in the southern front, which is really good. And now they're going to roll 3 dice. Now, hang on, Grant. Let's just make sure we're not missing anything. You're not looking at the cards. Done the generals. Done the special effect. They're not defending. They don't have the air naval control in the 1 box. And there's no adjacency +1, which is the one I was missing in Libya there. So it's just a straight up 3 dice they're getting. So let's do that. And remember the attack is in rough. Okay, so that's 2 hits. That's not too bad then. Mind you, I think we were getting plenty of dice there, so So it's going to be 2 hits, and well, actually, there's no combat events left, so there's not going to be a combat event. And I think that just means it doesn't. We don't do nothing. Where is it? What does it tell you about the event? So the strategic event. Draw and resolve 1 combat event card per result up to a maximum of 2 cards. Yeah, well, we've none left. I'm pretty sure it just doesn't count. Combat events, rule 7. Right, here we are. Combat event. Resolve 1 combat event card for each event. Result in the combat roll up to maximum of 2 events. Ignore all combat event results that cannot be resolved because the strategic event deck is empty. It doesn't tell you there, but I'm pretty sure it tells me elsewhere. Hang on. Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to have had it in the combat event, but I think it's on page 7 here. When a rule or a card's text, instruct the card to be discarded. Yeah, actually, I don't know if I pointed out that rule before. There's that wee recycle event there. When a rule or a card's text instructs a card to be discarded, remove it from the game. However, if the card includes a recyclable symbol, it may remain available if its objectives are not met. But the objectives were met on the cards that we've had. Place used combat cards face up in a used combat card pile. When the last combat card in the combat card deck is played, shuffle the cards. That's the combat cards though, not the events. After play, event cards may be discarded and removed from play, shuffled back into their deck, or added to the blah blah blah. Yeah, I mean, I know I shuffle up the combat cards, but combat events, I mean, sure, it tells you in that section on events. I mean, it doesn't say anything, so see section 7. Sure, it must be here, Grant. Well, I'm saying that. I'm not seeing it. I mean, that bit there that talks about, it says resolve 1 combat event card for each event result in the combat roll up to a maximum of 2 event cards. Ignore all combat event results that cannot be resolved because the strategic event deck is empty. I don't think I've come across anything that ignore all combat event results that cannot be resolved because the strategic event deck is empty. There's no mention at all of, and then it mentions it there, ignore it when the strategic event deck is empty. There's no talk about the combat event deck being empty that I can see. Right, hang on a second. Right, I don't know if this, I think the wording in that section, there is a thread, and the designer did confirm that when the combat deck is empty, you ignore any symbols for like, I just ignore that symbol when the combat event deck is empty. I think, although it's not shown in that wee errata file, that this maybe should say resolve 1 combat event card for each event result in the combat roll up to maximum of 2 events. Ignore all combat event results that cannot be resolved because the combat event deck is empty. I think that, because that one's a strategic event one, which makes sense. So ignore that. Yeah, I think that's just a wording mistake. I don't think it was in that little errata, but fair enough. Right, so yeah, I was pretty sure that that's what happened. I just also just kind of like to see these things written down. But okay, where are we? So we've rolled the dice for them. They've got 2 hits basically. Now we're rolling. Well, one black. Yeah, we should have this covered. 1 black and 2 grey to start with. And then Kessel Ring, because we're defending in rough, we're going to get an extra white die, but Kessel Ring makes that grey. Reckoning does nothing, however, Veeting Off, we add 1 white die to the Axis combat roll, so we add a white as well. So we've got a black, 3 grey, and a white. So I'd like to think everything was going to be hunky-dory here, but they do have 2 hits though still. Well, we get 1 guaranteed for the Panzer. Surely we can get. Well, mind you, we need 3 really, don't we? Right. Well, the white one's turned up an event. I think we're okay though. Now we're also got the assault guns now, haven't we? Yeah. So that's fine. Yeah. So there's a result. So there's no combat event cards left in the deck, so these can just go away. And then they've got 2 hits. But we have. Where is the symbols? Back there. We've got. Remember, the combat's in rough, so the tanks count as 1 hit. But we're defending. Is it just. Hang on a second. Is that the symbol? Or is there a different one for the white die? No, it's the same symbol, Grant. For some reason I thought there was this and there was something else. Yeah, no, they're all the same, aren't they? Yeah, okay. Yeah, there is just that one symbol. The thing is, there's a white version of one and a grey version of one. That's what's shown in there. So it's 2 hits if the Axis is the defender and the assault guns project has been completed. So that's 2-4. We've actually got 6 hits to there too. So all good there. No issues, so that's good. Right, combat card goes away. Kesselring, I'm just going to leave there just now. He's going to go back. Reckenow goes back. Veeting Off has been used. He was the leading general, so he's now been activated. Right, and that combat is done. So let's deal with the one in Middle East. No air hits there as well, so we're fine there. They're not going to get an extra white dice. So draw a combat card again. 1941, it's the same result. 2 aircraft and a 3. So we get that again. Kesselring this time won't be helping us though, because we're defending and planes. And who else have we got? Oh, we got Rommel. Yeah, I forgot about putting Rommel in there. So here is Rommel. Can only be used in Libya, Egypt, Northern Africa and Middle East. We're in the Middle East. And only against the Western faction, obviously. Can attack and defend in any terrain. So 1 German army in the area is considered an immediate superior type. If the combat result is not a defeat, the player may move this card back to the available. That's only if he's a leading general then, isn't he? He can't, yeah. There's one guy that can't be a leading general, isn't there? That's Kesselring, is it not? He's there, Grant. Cannot be appointed, yeah. Cannot be appointed as head of the army group or activated as leading general. I started worrying there. I thought I'd maybe done that, but no, I haven't. So yeah, although Rommel would be able to go back, the fact he's an AG head, that's not relevant, number 2 then, is it? 1 Gemini is considered immediately superior type. So we're going to have 2 Panzer armies and a regular army instead of 1 Panzer army. Okay, that's our AG head, and, well, I'm pretty sure I've got the guy on top that I want to use. I think it's this guy. Because remember, this is going to be the last battle anyway. Well, Spain, we're defending in rough. Actually, that's a point. Hang on. Let me sort of consider the possibility of Spain as well then. I forgot about that. Because we do need the general for there. I mean, he seems the most suitable for there, and I want to say that if we're defending in rough, what are we getting here? 2 aircraft again, yeah, so it could cancel special effect, but again, I'm only going to be able to cancel 1. Well, to be honest, it's really only these 2 guys that can help in Spain as right, hang on, that might change my mind then, maybe. Because, remember I said this guy wasn't as good as this guy, which he clearly isn't. However, this guy can't be used in Spain, and he could be used in the Middle East. And hold on, Rommel's upgrading one of them to black, so it does mean that we're only got 1 grey die there. They're rolling, what, 3 dice? We're going to be rolling 3 as well. 2 of which are black, but that basically turns that one of the grey dice into a Panzer hit, isn't it? Which is 2 hits. I mean, no other guy that's relevant as him. Cancelling special effect on the combat card. I could use him in Spain, but it's just that I can't use him in Spain. I think I might take my chances in Spain though, because that's the last 2 cards have been 3 results. We might get a bit luckier with the Spain one. I don't know. Hang on. Yeah, I am. I'm going to just go. Is it Reinhardt? Controlling player may change any one result and a grey die for a grey tank result. Yeah, I'm going to use him in defending in any terrain, and then yeah, because this one you need to roll a grey hit, and I'm only rolling 1 grey dice because Rommel's upgrading one onto black, so it's a bit iffier. If I was rolling the 2 grey dice there, I would have probably took the chance with that guy, I think, because he can't be used in Spain. So then for Spain, we're probably just going to have to use that, I think. I don't think there's anybody else. I'll have a quick glance. See, here's the other thing though. See, if I use this guy, right? Think about that, Grant. Because if I use this guy, that's the last 6 in my hand, and then that would allow me access to the 4s that I've got there. There is only 3 of them. That wouldn't be any good because I wouldn't be rolling white. Hey, you would be rolling 1 white die because you're defending in rough, Grant. So that would be add +1 hit. That's his combat roll for every black and grey. Oh, blank and yeah, okay. And then that one's a Soviet only one. So they 2 are pretty good actually. But that means you're going to have to use this 6, and he's not going to do anything. Nah, I don't think I want to do that. We'll just stick with, or will we? Yeah, because you're getting an extra die roll in Spain as well for defending in rough. Yeah, I'm just going to use Reinhardt then, and we're going to keep that 6 there. Okay. After all that time, I've made my decision. Where am I? Right, okay, give me a sec. Okay, so onto the roll. It's 2 aircraft results first. So let's deal with that first. The 2 blue guys looking for an aircraft. Right, they get it this time. So that takes a hit on our air naval control. In the southern front, fortunately it's just down to 2, so they're not getting that extra die. So they're getting 3 dice now for the combat. We can't do anything to their dice. As such, this is defending. we're defending in planes. Yeah, so we don't want to see any tank results here. So three blue dice. Yeah, here we go. Oops. Just knocked something off the table. I've got a tank. Damn it. Yeah, so that's going to be 3 hits, isn't it? Well, maybe just as well we did. We played that Reinhardt guy. So 3 hits. Remember, the event's not going to do anything because we have no events left, combat events. That is. Okay, so for us, we've got a black. Hey, now make sure you're in the right place, Grant. No, it's still the same. Right, so a black and 2 grey. Remember, it's in planes. Black and 2 grey. However, no, stop. Right, Kesselring doesn't help because it's not rough. Rommel does. So 1 German army in the area is considered immediately superior type. So that one of the greys becomes a black. So that's 2 black and a grey. And I may change any 1 grey result for a grey tank. Yeah, so I'm feeling pretty confident about this, like, because I'm guaranteed 1 tank, which means I'm guaranteed 3 hits. We'd like one of the black dice to be a tank though. That. Yeah, that's it. Right, we're good. So what we do is we change that to a tank. There we go. And we've got 2 tanks and a hat, which is 5 hits in it. Yeah, so there's the result. That does nothing. They've got 3 hits. We've got 5 hits because it's in planes. Oh, in actual fact, no, I changed that grey. It was that, wasn't it? So that was 2 hits as well. Forgot about that. I'll need to. Well, it didn't matter. Right. So we survived that combat as well. Combat card goes away. Kesselring will now be going back because. And Rommel goes back in command because we're now over at the Western Front, so we've not got Kesselring, and this guy has been activated, so he's in the pile of activated, and that goes away. Right, so 2 successful. This one's going to be a little trickier, but again, it doesn't really. We are defending in rough, so. And we might get lucky here. We've got a combat card to draw, so I'm still not really looking at these cards, which is pretty bad, as I've just found that I've been blundering the things. Right, combat card for the attack in Spain. This looks better. Yeah, no combat. So it's 1 aircraft, 1941. 1 aircraft, 1 strategic event, and then that card's done. So now hang on. Yeah, this was brought to my attention. I spoke about this, didn't I? Yeah, if we've got a way, if either our, well, I don't know about our OB, but it does state, no, it specifically states that the AG head, now that was that guy that brought that to my attention, Strauss there. I don't think he can, but let's just say who was the guy we were going to use as our leading general? Him. If he had been our AG head right now, then we would have still been able to cancel either the aircraft result or the strategic event, and would be our choice, I'm assuming. Yeah, I'm not going to go and look for the. Oh, there it's there. It's right there. I must have turned the page, unfortunately. Page 25. Important. The special effect may be cancelled if the specific rule of the general and the AG head allow it, even if there is no allied attack. So, I mean, I don't think Strauss is going to do it, but if he was able to cancel a special effect, which, like I say, that doesn't ring a bell, but what does he do? Nah, he's only when he's attacking. So it would have to be, that bit would have to apply as well, wouldn't it? Anyway, it's reroll a die, anyway, so he's not going to do anything. So we are going to have the aircraft roll and then the strategic event. I don't know if there's any. Sorry, that was a bit shoddy. I don't know if there's any specific order in which you do these, so I'll just do them as they're on the card. So the aircraft rule, damn it, we get it as well. I remember this is in the Western Front this time, so that drops to 2. And then we have a strategic event, which there are some left. So here we go. I had a feeling this was coming. I reckon I'm sort of worried that I think Russia are going to be USSR are going to be at war with us. Oh, that's good. That's good for us, isn't it? So what is it? Ernst Udet commits suicide. Okay. So the USSR commitment track's going to move by 1, and then we flip the Luftwaffe replacements marker to its Mulch side. So that goes up now into Molotov visits Berlin. There's only 2 more to go. And we flip this to its Mulch side. I don't know if you can see that or not. So now that enables us to up that into the 3 replacements, but so good. So and then that card is done, it goes away, doesn't come back, and all that. Okay, so the Soviets closer to entering the war. That is going to be the last combat of 1941 though. Right, not sure where I was at, I was on pause there for a wee bit. We finished the Western Offensive, haven't we? Yeah, so we're just about to wrap up the year, I think. So Soviet offensive, there's not any, so although it's very close now. Military directives, objective check, none of them. Supply check, well, we've not got that to do anymore then, no, I mean everything else is fine. So yeah, I just guess we skip by that. Like I said, the Allies don't appear to need to check for supply or anything like that. So, and then victory check. Well, there's nothing to do there. We've not lost the game yet. So, right, I'm putting that in the bomb in the Germany step. However, we are now moving from here into the New Year phase. Well, I'm at 32 minutes there, so I'm as well moving on, haven't I? There is quite a lot involved in this, so isn't there? There's a lot to maybe think about. That's quite a good bit though, isn't it? Okay, let's go through that. I'm just using the sequence to play cards. So, adjustment segment, advance the year marker. So this now goes into 42. And there's that landing marker there that I've just nudged. So, sorry, it's there. I mean, my guess is it's coming down out of there, but just let me read on. Move the turn marker to the New Year box. Well, I've done that. And then, there was mention of there is a mention of landing marker there. It's further down the steps. So I'll leave it there just now. We'll follow the steps. Move all general cards from the activated space to the available space in each player's board. So, these were all our activated generals. So they're all going now into the available generals. And what I'm just going to do is put them in seniority order. Right, okay, that's all then put back in seniority order. And then, so now we return the directive cards, return any unplayed directive cards that were selected for the year to their respective decks. Well, there was Barbarossa, obviously. These can both, we did start the strategic bombers, but didn't finish it. So these are all going to go back. Obviously, diplomacy Spain's not any good to us anyway. So they go back into the decks. Right, and obviously I'm going to have to look through the decks in a minute. Right, adjustment segment. Event cards. Reveal all cards remaining in the event decks from the previous year. Well, we've no combat event cards, but we do have 3 or 4, I think 3 or 4 strategic events. So we're going to have to reveal these. And it says resolve any what is it? USR's commitment movement and USA commitment movement, recurring events, and all mandatory unique events, which are the ones with the blue background. And then we create a new event deck with event cards for the current year. But remember, some were put back as well. So that's the two piles of cards. So let's resolve these, and well, let's see if USSR is going to be at war. Oh, there we go. Bang. So that takes another hat. So this is roll one Western die. So if we get a hit, strategic war value -1. If we get an aircraft, air naval control value in the Germany boats -1. Any other result, no effect. Then that goes to the new year, doesn't it? Is that one? Yeah, I think so. Right. So, well, let's go. First of all, that's going up into border troop movement. I think this is going to happen, isn't it? We're going to roll one Western die. I don't suppose it matters what I get. Well, ideally, not an airplane or a hat. An event symbol would be what I'd ideally look for. Here we go. No, we get the hat, which is strategic warfare value -1. Well, I don't know. That's it down to 0 though. I mean, I've got it set at 2, so it's going to go back up, but yeah, I probably would have preferred knocking that down, I think, because I could have then moved that back up. And then that goes in the new year pile, doesn't it? Or the next year pile. Just double check that symbol. I think that's right. Oh, it's there, yeah. It's the green one with the sort of calendar thing on it. Right. So we've resolved that, and it's going to come back next year, unfortunately. And then, well, there's more strategic events. Right, that's the USA commitment going to move up. However, it's not a unique event. It's not in the blue. So yeah, I just don't read that, do I? Just double checking here, right? Must be resolved during the new phase. If the unique event required, no. What should include a unique event? If the unique event is a blue background, is obligatory unique event and must be resolved. Yeah, it's only the blue background ones. However, the recurrent event does trigger. You resolve the recurrent events and all mandatory unique events. So USA commitment goes up, oil embargo to Japan, that goes up, and then that card, we don't do the unique event, so that goes away, that's just discarded. No. Right, we got one more. So are the USSR going to war? Oh, they're not. Okay, so it's USA again, commitment up 1, so that must be how it finishes. And there's no mandatory blue unique event there. So that goes up now to Pearl Harbor, and they're both just sitting there waiting. So that must be how it's planned to do. And then that card's discarded as well. Okay, and then we create a new event deck with the event cards for the current year. So for the strategic events, there was 3 cards from 1941 that went back, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards from 1942. So there's not too many. And then these get shuffled up and become a deck. So there's only 8 cards there, but none of them are very good, I don't think. Well, certainly the ones we put back, none of them are good. Right, and then the combat event deck, 1, 2, 3. There's 3 from 1941. How's there 1 from 1940? Oh, it's Abwehr, that's why. So there's actually 4 from 41, 1 from 40. 5, 6, and there's 6 from 42. So there's a few more there. Well, we know there's one good card there, that Abwehr card. So let me get these shuffled up. That's the combat event shuffled up. I think there's 11 or 12 cards in there. Right, landing markers. If there is a landing marker in the current year's box, move it to the landing markers box on the board. So yes, there is this time. So this, as I thought, moves down into here. And then also if there had been any landing markers in areas on the map, they would go in the landing markers box as well. But there is only the one, but you can see when we get to 44, there's going to be 2. Right, so planning segment, select general cards, place all general cards for the current year in the available generals pile. And then if you have more than 30, you choose which to place. Right, and remember, as Martin pointed out, it's only from the ones from the new year that I can leave behind. I can't pick any of these that are from the older years and put them away. So how many do we have here now? Because we have lost a couple. Then again, you've got to count these as well, haven't you? Yeah, so there's 20 available and there's 8 in command. So we've got 28, so we've only got space for 2. Yeah, place all generals for the current year in the available generals pile. If you have more than 30, choose which generals to place. Yeah, it's the way that that's worded. But I mean, it is worded. If you read it right, it is right. But I suppose I was confused by it. Add unselected generals to the pile of generals entering play next year. So I can only pick 2 of these new generals, which is kind of rubbish, isn't it? Oh, and then I've got a bunch of 41s here. Hang on a sec. Oh, I hope I'm doing this right. I mean, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 generals from 1941 still that are not in play. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 from 42. The 9 from 42, their seniorities are all 3s. And the ones from 41 are 5, 4, 5, one's a 5 and the other are 4s. I sort of feel like I need to take them. I mean, I'm only getting 2 of them as well. Well, I don't know how you decide from that. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I should be taking one of the 1941 ones rather than taking seniorities 3s, because I'm probably not going to be able to dig down to them for a bit. I know things are going to start going away very quickly, but okay, let me look at the 2 that I might want to add. I'm not really sure at all. The fact I can only pick 2, so I'm going to pick this guy. Cancels a tank result, defending in any terrain. Against any faction. That one's defending in plain. Subtract 1 hit from the allied combat roll. I'm just going to go for day 2, I guess. So, and then the rest are going to go back, and then only be considered for next year. But it feels like there's an awful lot of generals getting left behind. But I don't think I'm doing anything wrong there. Doesn't really feel, well, it feels a bit odd that there's a big pile of generals not getting used, but anyway, so I'm going to put these in the pile now. Yeah, see, I've still got, these were both 4s, so it's going to be a while before we get to see them anyway, I think. Anyway, I'll put them down the bottom of the deck. So that has me now got 30 generals. They're all sitting in the seniority available there, and that's it. Right, so now we're going to select our directive cards. 5 military, 4 political, and 4 production. So, right, hang on then. Right, well, I think we spoke about this already not that long ago about what we're going to pack. So, we've got 40, 41, and we can go to 42. So it's quite a lot to choose from. I'm just sticking together. It's my sweaty hands, I think. It's really hot today. So let's leave them aside. I mean, the fact that USSR commitment's one away from them being at war, as soon as it hits there, I think because we can't start Barbarossa till the summer, there's a good chance that a strategic event's going to come along and start the war for us with the Soviets, so we do need to prepare for that happening. But I suppose we should still take Barbarossa, because we need to have this to be able to go on the offensive. So I'm going to take that, and then of course the other cards I was interested in was, this is an offensive in Libya or Egypt, which can keep coming back. So it's 27, 28, and we need to have I can't go for Libya, but I can go for Egypt because we've got adjacency there. Well, assuming nothing changes, so that allows me to go for Egypt. So I'm taking that, and Vision of Great Britain, probably not. Barbarossa 2. Well, let's see what else there is. Conquest of Malta. I don't think I want to do that, and we don't need naval supply anymore anyway, unless we've got Libya. We've got 2 of the air bases anyway. I don't want to do that. Gibraltar we've already got. Conquest of Moscow is access controls at least 2 areas in the USSR. Yeah, let's not think about Moscow just yet. Sevastopol, where's that? Where's Sevastopol? Well, that's not too, that's there. But hang on. The prerequisite is a multi-directive card Typhoon has been played, which is the Conquest of Moscow. So I need to have played this first. I can't see myself going for that just yet. Conquest of Caucasus. Well, maybe if we... Well, let's get the card that we definitely want, and it's the last one. Orient 2, Conquest of Iran, Iraq. ISIS controls Egypt, Turkey, or Caucasus. Well, we control Turkey, and if we can get in there, we're then adjacent to Caucasus. So maybe we could... What's the prerequisite though? No, that's needing Typhoon played as well. So hang on. So I mean, it says that the card has been played. I mean, I'm assuming it must be that this is played and succeeded. Well, Moscow's here, I mean. Well, they're 3 of the cards that I definitely want. Yeah, and if I need to play Typhoon to play any one of them, maybe I should be considering it then. So let's take the Typhoon card, and Barbarossa 2 then, I suppose. I go with that. I'm not going for Great Britain. I'm not needing to go for any of the bases. And then the other 4 cards require that Typhoon card to be played. So I think that just settles it for me, actually. Because 5 cards. So that's what we're going to have. Barbarossa 1. Invasion of USSR. That's the Libya and Egypt offensive. Conquest of Iran, Iraq. And then I'm going to take Barbarossa 2 as well. And I'm going to take that Typhoon card because we need to do that before we can select any of the other cards. So that's going to be a selection of 5 military directives. So let's just leave them there. And then we need 4 political directives. Actually, I think I'll... Yeah, well, let's just do it in that order. I suppose it matters. Right, so what we got? We've got Diplomacy Spain, right, that's no good. Diplomacy Turkey, that's no good. Diplomacy Greece, that's no good. Africa Corps, Libya is disputed. Well, no, that's no good. That's on its intervention side either. So I don't think that card's any good either. Diplomacy Yugoslavia, that's not any good. Diplomacy Vichy. States of France is Vichy. It is. Spain is neutral, no. Italy's an Axis satellite, yes, that's a -2. Great Britain's occupied, no, so that means we can't roll that. Because we need a 7. So I don't think we can do that either. Bribing generals. We could play that again. We've had that already. After putting this card, return it. So unrest -1. So probably going to take that. Right. What about some of the newer ones? Or right, Commissar order. USSR is at war. Well, that's going to happen. It's not there yet. Fanaticism +1. That's all though. So I would consider playing that. We need 4 of these anyway. Right. Use the 42 ones. Declaration of war in the United States. The USA is not at war. Well, it's 1 away from being at war. So if we take that, we get fanaticism +1, strategic warfare +1, and then USA activates. I wonder if they don't move into the war box. No, they must be able to. They must be able to move into that war box. Well, yeah. Well, I might take that. Well, we got a Slavic cooperation. The Axis controls at least 2 areas in the USSR. Well, that's kind of the plan, but it's not really. So fanaticism -1. Right, I hope the other bit's good then. Set this card aside. The next time the combat event card Russian Partisans is played, discard both cards. Right, so my guess is that Russian Partisans is really bad. And it might be that it keeps coming back as well, so. But we need to have at least 2 areas in the USSR. So I'm not sure about that one either. Activation of OU West. Well, surely we want this. The States of France is not Third Republic. Well, it's not. How does it become that? Is that on the other side? Yeah, does it start that way? I can't remember. Maybe it does. It's flipped to Vichy anyway. So it's not Third Republic. Place a vacancy mark in the OB West command. Unrest -1. Oh yeah, minus on the unrest is good. Minus on the fanaticism is not good. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I probably want that, don't I? So that's 3 that looks like I want. Commando order, Status of France is Vichy, it is fanaticism +1. So that kind of works as well. Well, that would be your 4 then. Sorry, there's a glary bit there. So you got bribing generals, which is unrest -1. Commissar order, USSR need to be at war. That's a fanaticism +1. States of France and Vichy, that's a +1. States of France not. Yeah, I want that, don't I? They're the 2 that you could have. I mean, this activates the US, so we might as well hang off and hope that they don't come in. Like I say, I think the only thing when the USA are at war, although there could be events, the only other thing is that when we roll that, it counts as a strategic warfare hit, I think. I think that's the only thing. This sort of concerns me. It feels like this is pretty strong. It's cost 3 as well, the cost of it. But sitting that in my hand, and the Axis controls at least 2 areas in the USSR. Yeah, I feel like I'm just going to go for these 4. What is it? The Axis controls at least 2 areas in the USSR. I'm not so sure that's going to happen, right? But okay, I'm going to put these 2 away, and I'm going to keep the 4, I think. and then I'm going to kick myself when I see this Russian Partisans card, probably. Okay, so that is our... Oh, sorry, they're going away as well, these diplomacy cards, but that's all done and dusted now. Probably could take them out of the deck, to be honest, but anyway. So 4 political directives, right? And finally 4 production directives. So these are generally pretty decent, aren't they? So I've got a couple from 1940 still, a couple from 1941, and 3 from 1942 to look at. Well, we started one of them, so we probably want to bring that back. It's, where are we? Strategic Bombers, isn't it? It's got a -1 on it as well. So, yeah. I mean, it does open up, all it does is open up that box, which, I don't know. Are we ever going to get to that box, the way things are starting to look now? Anyway, that's an option, so that is an option. Probably should do it. Project Nuclear Power, right? Again, it doesn't appear to do anything on the card, but whether there's an event that says that if this hasn't been played, I've spoken about that before. I guess because I've not played the game, I don't really want to consider it, because there's probably going to be better options, but this is requiring the USSR at war, probably going to happen this time. Cancel event, combat event, card new tanks. Well, we'd probably like to have that, but what else is it? Force Labour, move on, replace marker at box to the right. That's good. Yeah, I want that. But hold on, what are the new ones? New units. Add these units to the force pool. 2 regular armies, 3 reduced armies. Yeah, we're having that. Right, here's another project. The V weapons. Well, it seems to do there is +1 to fanaticism, but again, does it affect any events? Might do. I'll set that aside for now. Project Jet Fighters. Project V Weapons has been completed, so we need to do that first. Move the technology marker 1 box to the right in Strategic Warfare track. Right, okay, so Project V Weapons does have another use that we can see straight up, and the fact that we need to do that before we do that, and then that then moves up production into the 2 box, which means 2 grey dice instead of instead of the it adds, turns on our white dice grey, doesn't it? So yeah, if you're gonna have one of them, you're probably gonna have the other. Right, I don't fancy nuclear power. Well, I definitely want new units. Force Labour's pretty good. We've already got this going. I think we just leave the weapons. Yeah. So I would take these 4. Yeah, that's it. It was 4, wasn't it? Yeah, 4 of them as well. So these can go back. Might look at them. Next, well, the V weapons one obviously is going to have its uses, but I think these are probably more important than the ones we packed. Right, okay, let's get this bit wrapped up. Well, that's it. That's our New Year phase finished, I think. Just a glance at the rulebook on that. New Year phase, adjustment, mind the markers, new generals, planning, that's it. Okay. So we're going to then move to the winter of 1942. So remember, it's winter, Grant. Will you remember? Because there's a few things that don't trigger. Landings don't happen. So try and remember that you don't draw for landings. Also, air naval control markers in the 5 box or the 1 box for that matter don't trigger. So administrative phase, winter 1942. That's us all set, yeah. Okay, and I'm just about an hour there, so I'll stop. I don't know if I could get this bit started I probably shouldn't, to be honest. I'd like to, but yeah, it's probably better saved for another day, because I'm not going to get too far, I don't think. Yeah, so we're at the bombing of Germany. Well, actually, yeah, I was saying about there was a chance of this dropping down, wasn't there, instead of that. And we got the result we got was that, which is good for us, because that if that dropped down, I'm not at the stage where I can move that up yet. So we would have been at -1 replacements, had to knock our replacements down by 1. So that probably was a better result for us there on that strategic event, wasn't it? Okay. Right, that'll be it for today, and I don't think anything will happen tomorrow or Saturday. Pretty much work taking over a bit. So yeah, maybe a wee bit of time before I get back again, but 1942, and you can just tell things are going to get really bad, aren't they? Yeah, I'm keen to see how it all goes, though. I hope my die rolling gets a bit better. We could do with some help with that, because we know we're going to be up against it, and we need to get. Ideally, we want 4 armies here, 5 here, 4 here, and 4 here. I think I said that we probably should downgrade one of these regular armies to a reduced army, probably, to bring the 2, and in fact probably in Spain as well, to try and bring them across. I mean, there's nothing from the Western, and I was talking about the landings. There is a landing marker there, and there. Oh, I'll tell you what else, and I don't think I ever mentioned that. Look at the landing marker in Spain. Boom. Sorry, right in there. 1 to 3. A 1 to 3, they take Valencia and just knock us right out. I'm assuming that's what happens. Because we roll a die if they land in Spain, we roll a die, and if we got, fair enough, if we get a 4 to 6, that's good. I don't know what kind of happens there. If they go there, do we go to... No, hang on. If they go there, do they not automatically go there? I don't know. Anyway, if they roll a 1 to 3, my guess is that they just take Valencia and knock us out. So I don't know if there's some other area. Well, actually, there is. Look, I mean, there's a 1 to 2. In fact, they're all about. In fact, if they roll Belgium Holland, there's not even a die roll for that one. Sorry, maybe off camera. There's not even a die roll for that one. We just get knocked out. But I suppose there's Southern France. My guess is that these two are going to come in when they historically happened, you know. Or Northern France. Yeah, there's a bit of... yeah, okay. But I suppose what I'm thinking is that that's probably not going to happen this year in 42. So I think we can just satisfy the 4 satellite armies there. Spain's going to keep getting attacked though from Northern Africa, so... But we're going to need these armies across. Yes, we can upgrade. Well, you can see, but no Panzer armies. One of these, what does the new units do? It gives us 2 grey armies and 3 reduced armies. So we're not really getting that Panzer army back. We've only got 3. Remember, we lost 1 to the... It's worth it though, because we're going to be defending a lot. And that 2 hits from the anti-aircraft result is going to be helpful, isn't it? Right. Okay, I better go for now, and I'll be back next chance I get. Okay, cheers.